Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the principal officers of the House, honorable members, the very traditional rulers, big great officers of government, dear President, the NFLDSS, the Head of Service, and the other members of the Cabinet, dear President. I must not fail to recognize the state chairman of the party, under whose platform I am here. And then members of the civil society, the NGOs, citizens who have come to observe this very important process. Let me say distinguished, and I think I've also seen the President General, representative of the President General, leaders of communities, distinguished and the clergy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Anambra, let me start. This is, I think, my second time with you since the inauguration of the State Assembly. And let me start once again by congratulating all of you, members of the 8th Assembly, and the leadership of the House for your elections. Yours is a historic call to serve in the Anambra. As I always remind all of us, we have only one state, and our development focus is summarized by the mantra: one state, one people, one agenda. I want to thank you for your cooperation and collaboration so far. Together, we shall lead this state far better than we can. On November 10, 2022, I was here to present the 2023 budget, captioned Budget of Acceleration. It was our first full year budget in office. Over the past 20 months since our swearing in on March 17, 2022, we have intentionally focused on judiciously implementing the budget to address several of the foundational key challenges and the results are beginning to show. Anambra is today ranked the number 1 among the 17 southern states on ease of doing business. Number 2 as the state with lowest infant mortality rate. Best performing students in JAM and NECO are from Anambra, while budgeting has recently also ranked Anambra among the top 5 states on fiscal sustainability. During our second year anniversary, on March 17, 2024, we shall present a comprehensive scorecard to our people, considering 2 years. But suffice it to say that Anambra is indeed on the march. Our security is getting stronger by the day, and the 8 local governments that were in total control by the so-called unknown government have been largely liberated. Anambra, by every measure, is certainly one of the safest states in Nigeria today. Over 400 kilometers of roads plus 2 flyovers and bridges are under construction in all the 21 local governments. And in a few weeks' time, we shall embark upon commissioning of the finished ones. Anambra had a severe road crisis, and I promised during the electionary campaigns to declare a state of emergency on roads. With the state of decay, even if we spend the entire year's budget on roads alone in one local government, it will still be a scratch. But we are very strategic in the choice of game-changing roads that impact on the productivity of our people, especially in connecting either to neglected or abandoned people, local governments, and communities. We are breaking the 32-year-old jinx, and Anambra will soon have proper and befitting government house and governance lodge. Power is improving. We are winning the war on waste management and the sales of drainages, traffic management, anti-terrorism law, and order. The Open Drug Market Africa's biggest open drug market is under construction. And the pharmaceutical industrial park of Washington is under development, with about 15 manufacturers out of the expected 100 already signed up. Our regenerative agricultural revolution is on the move. And so far, we've distributed about 1,100,000 hybrid coconut and palm seedlings to over 100,000 households in our drive towards zero poverty, new agro-industrialization, and a green and environmentally sustainable state. We will distribute at least 1 million seedlings per annum in the coming years as we target 500,000 households, with each earning millions of naira per annum in a few years to come. Some 25,000 diesel power street lights have been converted into solar lights, saving costs and powering the 90 town. Our human capital remains Anambra's greatest asset, and we are very intentional in building a resource that is productive at home and exportable abroad. Basic education is now truly free for all charges and levies in all public schools in Anambra. We are ending the phenomenon of schools without teachers by recruiting 5,000 teachers within the first 9 months in office. There is ongoing recruitment of an additional 3,000 teachers. The target for our schools is smart education. Our schools, teachers, and students won several national and international prizes this year. We're also ending the era of hospitals without doctors and nurses by recruiting almost 1,000 health workers, doctors, consultants, nurses, pharmacists, lab technicians, etc., to power our general hospitals and primary health centers. 4 new general hospitals are under construction and several others under reconstruction. Pregnant women now have free antenatal and delivery services in Anambra. Building the capacity and empowerment of our youth to take care of their future remains our priority. Our pioneering 1 U 2 Skills program has just graduated its first batch of 5,000 youth, and they have been empowered with 2 billion naira as seed capital to start their own businesses. We have also established the Solution Innovation District for digital skills, startups, research, commercialization, and creative talent. Over 20,000 youths have been trained on different digital skills. Earlier this morning, the SID organized the opening ceremony and the orientation for 2,500 youths selected out of the over 10,000 applicants for the training program on coding, tagged Code Anambra. This just began this morning. We expect tens of thousands of our youths to go through our unprecedented menu of youth empowerment programs each year. Our vision is to teach Anambra youth how to fish and turn them from job seekers to job creators. We're also resourcing the Anambra Small Business Agency, ASBA, to be able to provide required cheap credit to these budding entrepreneurs. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to put on record that by recruiting directly slightly over 10,000 workers within the first 20 months, having over 5,000 of our youth empowered to take charge of their destiny, the training, the digital skill training ongoing, and the various other empowerment programs that were done by backing up. I think I'm confident and bold to say that we're empowering our youth and empowering our people in a way that has not been done before, not within this record time of 20 months in office. And more yet to come. We only just begin. In the Igbo will say, we are driving towards a more transparent e-governance system with our mantra of technology everywhere and everything technology. Our local government system is being reformed to strengthen its service delivery at the grassroots, while our tax administration is systematically going digital. Our land registry is going digital, and transfer of land titles can now be completed within a week rather than over 6 months previously. The environment remains Anambra's #1 existential threat. Flooding is a menace, and Anambra remains the gully erosion capital of the world. We have launched the Clean, Green, and Sustainable Anambra project, and it will receive greater impetus in the coming years. The list is long, honorable members. But, Mr. Speaker, members of this House, it is important to remind us that the government has implemented a far-reaching, comprehensive set of palliatives to ameliorate the economic hardship of the citizens as a consequence of the inevitable removal of petroleum subsidy. As we are aware, the federal government gave each state a loan of $2 billion with a grant element of 52% to assist in funding palliatives. But ours here in Anambra is a government on the foundation of the All Progressive Grand Alliance Act. We are progressives, and the welfare of the ordinary Nigerians, especially the poor and vulnerable, remain our primary focus. Our motto is, be your brothers and sisters keeper. For us, there is no better time to rise up to the full essence of our motto and ideological stance on behalf of the ordinary people than now. Consequently, even before the removal of subsidy, we had earlier increased the salary of public servants by 10%, effective from January 2023. And this translates to over $2 billion in 2023, excluding local governments and teachers. We also granted all public servants and pensioners, about 59,000 persons, a non-taxable cash award of 12,000 naira per month, spanning September to December 2023. This amounts to about 2.83 billion. Beginning from today, this morning, as I speak here, about 200,000 bags of 10 kg bags of rice will be distributed to vulnerable persons across the 326 wards in Anambra, and this costs slightly over 2 billion as well. The 200,000 10 kg bags being distributed at that, inclusive of about 18,000 or so 50 kg bags and some others that will also be added onto this and distributed to our people who must ameliorate the suffering of the ordinary person. We have, of course, upon assumption of office, we met 4-year gratuity arrears for state and local government retirees. We have systematically cleared the arrears, while everyone who has retired since our assumption of office has been assured of prompt payment of gratuity. Pensions and salaries are paid as at when due. We have also exempted the highly vulnerable persons from all forms of taxation and levies, including the hawkers in the streets, wheelbarrow and truck pushers, vulcanizers, artisans, Okada riders, and petty traders with whose capital happens to be less than 100,000 naira. All these people are exempt from any levies or taxes in Anambra. And anyone who is still collecting or harassing these people is actually, how do we put it, it's not just fighting the government in this policy, but it's fighting nature. Because these people, these poor people, need not just to breathe, they need to rise up and run. Furthermore, we reduced by 20% IGR payments by all transporters, KK, minibus, etc. Our free education policy and free medical services program were also announced during this period. As committed progressives, we are determined to let the poor not only breathe, as I said a moment ago, not just to breathe, but for them to be empowered to rise up and to run. This is the essence of our mission. Honorable Speaker, Honorable members, Anambra, after 20 months of systematic programs to take back our state from non-state actors and addressing key aspects of the foundational challenge, it is now time to change gear. I am here, therefore, to present the draft 2024 budget. With this budget, we are making an announcement that Anambra is changing gear and that the promised transformation agenda will now begin. The transformation agenda is one that intentionally executes a new master plan of the state designed to turn Anambra into a livable and prosperous smart megacity. We are determined to change Anambra's narrative from its current status as a departure lounge to a destination of choice, the preferred destination to live, work, invest, learn, and relax and enjoy. Evidently, Nigeria's macroeconomic environment remains challenging due largely to the missteps of the past. Subnational governments are obviously constrained by the larger macroeconomic environment. I think a moment ago, the Honorable Speaker did make reference to the MTEF, medium-term expenditure framework, that was presented here. Of course, much of the framework, if you like, the basic underlying statistics for that, we've got to also derive from the federal statistics. If you think in terms of, projections for revenue, oil, and all of that, because we've got to derive from those. We're subnational. However, we are determined to maximize the limited headroom available to create value on the Anambra. Consequently, and in spite of the humongous need, we are presenting today a modest budget of 410 billion, 132 million, 225,272 naira for the fiscal year 2024, compared to 258 billion, 984 million, 874,905 naira for 2023, a 57.8% increase. Recurrent expenditure amounts to about 96.2 billion. That's accounting for about 23.46%. While capital expenditure is 313.9 billion, or 76.54 billion. Budget deficit is estimated at 120 billion. And relative to 2023, some key sectors have significant increases. For example, the administrative sector is an increase of about 50.85%, the economic sector about 103.43%, judiciary about 72.9%, social sector about 60.24%, education whopping 140%, 140.88% increase, health a 169.55% increase, infrastructure investment about 119.84% increase, overhead cost 34%, etc. Legislature obviously is also a key priority, especially as we signpost in this draft budget the establishment of the Legislative Service Commission. While consolidating and expanding the ongoing programs and projects, honorable members, the emphasis on the sectors as indicated above signal new vistas. 3 new cities are part of the new master plan for Anambra. Oka 2.0, Onitsha 2.0, and a new industrial city with export emporium and potential for a possible future airport. An industrial master plan is being finalized, while the railway master plan and feasibility study is also being completed. The $200 million project development advisory and financing agreement recently signed with the Afrexim Bank is part of this new agenda. We will continue to address the ease of doing business, With the completion of the Fund City, the myriad of infrastructural development, as well as the coming of a branded international hotel in Awka, both Awka 1.0 and Awka 2.2 will merge to give Anambra a truly befitting capital city. Urban regeneration will be aggressively pursued. The environment remains, as I said before, our number one existential threat. And under the 2024 budget, we will intentionally accelerate our agenda on clean, green, planned, and sustainable Anambra. Smart, green cities is our goal. Our infrastructural development will deliberately target the provision of transportation system that will serve the next generations by targeting the dualization of key highways and modernizing our mass transport system. A new electricity market will be created, and our security operations will be upgraded with high technology applications, even with barely 4% of the budget for security. The 2024 budget signals a significant investment in urban and semi-urban water schemes, and we expect the Anambra to see taps running again in 2024. Yes, in the 2024, our students and teachers will smile as never before. Yes, our youth and Anambra students in tertiary institutions will smile even more. The poor and the vulnerable persons have their backs covered. Around 1,000 households or more will receive 10 or more seedlings of coconut palm, okwa, pawpaw, soursop, etc. per household in the 2024. We are mainstreaming the sports economy, and the state football team will debut in 2024. Several creative sectors other than tech will also be promoted. Yes, we will deepen our structural reforms regarding the delivery mechanism that emphasizes public-private community partnerships, especially in service delivery to the grassroots, including our new Zero Pothole program. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I don't want to bore you with all the deliverables in the budget. The full document is already before you. Now, suffice it to note that the size of the budget is indeed very small. In real terms, that is the purchasing power of the Naira today, or even in US dollars, when compared to some years ago for this state. When you put it in context, with just bitumen alone, even compared to a few months ago, it's now increased by thousands of percent, so to speak. Prices of critical inputs, especially for infrastructure delivery, seem to be galloping. But in spite of this, we are determined to maximize value from the Anambra as we are currently doing. Recall that the 7th Assembly approved in 2022 for us to borrow 100 billion naira for infrastructure. We didn't do so in 2022. For the ongoing 2023 budget, it was assumed that we will borrow 90 billion to fund the budget. Up until now, we still have not borrowed a cover of that. And we won't borrow until the end of the year. We won't borrow through to the year. So for the 20 months, in spite of the approvals by this House for us to borrow, we still literally have refused to do so. In the proposed 2024 budget, there is a deficit of 120 billion expected to be funded through a facility from financial institutions. But be rest assured, honorable members, that we would borrow unless it satisfies two stringent criteria we have set. A, any borrowing we undertake must be a concessional loan. And B, it must be deployed to projects that we can show how they will pay back the loan in the future. We are prioritizing project finance. if we ever have to borrow, and not to borrow for consumption. Even with an estimated 66% budget performance for 2023, we insist on not borrowing unless it satisfies our set criteria. Our internally generated revenue IGR remains a fundamental challenge, honorable members. In the 2023 budget, we expected a monthly revenue of about 4 billion. So far, we are averaging 2 billion, and we are still projecting about 4.2 billion per month in 2024. This is a wake-up call for all residents of Anambra and all of the Anambra, wherever they may live. We can't build the envisioned, livable, and prosperous homeland without saliva. With the abundant resources that God has blessed in the Anambra with, there is literally nothing that we collectively set our minds to that we cannot achieve for our homeland. We have a plan and the organization to execute, but we need resources. If each of us pays just 5 to 10% of our annual income as tax to the state, I can assure you the Anambra state of our dream will be fast-tracked in the shortest possible time. Many people keep asking how we manage to fund the huge infrastructure projects and other programs and projects without borrowing over the past 20 months, given the state of treasury when we assumed office. The answer is simple. Our mantra is doing more with less. It has involved extreme austerity and cutting costs of governance to bare bones. As can be seen from the proposed 2024 budget, recurrent expenditure is only 23%, while capital expenditure is 77%. This makes a bold step. Yes, we have been in office for 20 months, but we have not taken any salary, and we have not got any vehicle for the First Lady of Anambra. Before we assumed office, it cost about 137 million naira to clean public offices per month, but it currently costs 11 million per month to do the same job, with a monthly savings of 126 million naira. This is how we do it here. I want to especially appreciate members of the solution team, the honorable members, members of the Judiciary, and all stakeholders for their sacrifice in the service of our homeland. You are the generation of public servants largely paid to serve. We will never take your sacrifices for granted. We appreciate all the stakeholders in the Anambra project, our community leaders, traditional rulers, church leaders, the private sector, the international community, the public servants, the federal government, the media, the NGOs, the youth, women, students, etc., for their support. Your continued partnership and support will be critical in the delivery of the 2024 budget outcome. I want to assure the Anambra that every cover you entrust in our hands will be judiciously deployed to maximize value for you. You have employed Dr. Onyeka Bezim and I to serve you, and together with the solution team, we will continue to work 24/7 to do just that. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Umunam Anambra, let me end by reiterating that this budget is your budget. The agenda is about your future and the future of your unborn generation. For me, we're not just working for the present and next generation. We are planning for many generations unborn. The 2024 budget speaks to that. Say, I will, and great powers will come to your aid. Today and in 2024, let us all agree that it will be done. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the journey has only just begun. May God bless Anambra State. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much, and God bless you.